Assalamu alaikum everyone. It's me, Uzma Azam, your host and the clinical psychologist, founder of Healing House, NLP practitioner, NLP coach, and talent therapist. So we have an amazing guest from straight from Iraq and Dr. Hanadie. And the topic today is the pain battle, mind versus body. Okay. So first of all, a very warm welcome, Dr. Hanadie. We would love to have your introduction. I know you, but my audience wants to know you as well.
So, hi everyone. It's my pleasure to join your podcast and your webinar, Uzma.
Thank you.
And it was my pleasure to be the pioneer of naming the name of pain manager here in Dubai.
Yeah.
So, my name is Dr. Hanadie Basil. I'm a complementary orthopedic surgeon by train. And upgrade my practices into be a complementary pain management practitioner. Started the journey the last 20 plus years, and shifting from the medical field to the complementary field, helping myself and of course my clients to tame their pains and live the life that they want. It was an exciting journey, many challenges, and known for my physical work on pain. But recently I start to get the questions and the connections with the mental experts like you to connect the letter or the message between pain, emotional, and physical one. So my pure work is about pain in a physical body.
Okay.
And the journey itself revealed by my own experience. So from chronic illnesses to many medications to natural therapies, till I found myself paralyzed the last 3 years. I wake up paralyzed and the journey restart again to merge both the emotional and physical, but still starting from the physical and reach the emotional part of the pain. And alhamdulillah, gain my strength back on my feet. And now I can see it, how really the pain can impact the emotions of my clients and the community in general. And it's something not to be ignored.
Yeah, so I can see why you have named your own initiative as the pain manager, because who can better understand the pain, because you have gone through it. And I definitely would love if you define according to you. We can see many definitions, but you are an expert, you are a pain manager. So I would love to have your definition of what exactly pain is.
Yeah, so the pain manager first is the name of the company that I founded. Of course, we have shareholders with us. We have referral points. We have many connections and who build up the business itself. Okay. And this is when I start to known as the pain manager. Okay. So I cannot go further away from the medical or the scientific definition of pain. Yeah. So usually we define it as an unpleasant sensory and or emotional experience associated with or resembling that actual or potential tissue damage. So it must be associated with injury or kind of cellular damage, a noticeable injury. From my perspective, the pain is that sharp signal that keep you away from your balanced status in life. It just disturb your life in a daily basis.
Okay. So you just have mentioned that pain for you is a sharp signal that basically disturbs the, you can call it the equilibrium basically. So the equilibrium
Exactly.
between the mind and body. And the topic today as well is the battle between mind and body. So if I ask you, pain is the battle between mind and body, how would you define that? What do you mean by that actually?
Okay, so one of them have to start it. They're like little siblings.
Yeah.
One have to initiate the spark and the other will respond and the fight starts.
Okay.
So basically a few years ago when I was merging and exploring the natural therapies and complementary therapies, from aromatherapy to herbology to Chinese traditional medicine to Japanese Jinshinjutsu, somatic movement experiences, and all these things, and going back in between rehab training to check people who are injured.
Okay.
I found it really interesting to see who started. Because some people will come and they are physically strong, but the pain is inside them. That does not mean that it started as an emotional or physical, because sometimes both they interact.
Okay.
And just like stopping this sibling war or a tug of war between both of them, we have to set up the war area or the battlefield.
All right.
To see who start the spark and who take the weapons and fire back.
Okay.
So if I start to look at it as, and because it is part of our questionnaire, the consultation questionnaire,
Okay.
what's happened? Exactly the way that you as a psychologist guide the clients through a questionnaire or a series of questionnaire to know the story behind it. We have the same.
Okay.
And the stories get amazingly excited to
Okay.
know more and more. So let's take it from the physical part of pain, as it's my first specialist in. So previously, when I was working as a surgeon, people like the client will come with injury or a deformity. Deformity means that there is something abnormal, maybe a shortage of a limb, genetic,
Okay.
something missing genetic, something is never have the chance to grow to its normal shape or size, or an injury caused by a vehicle, caused by any kind of accident, fall. Yeah. So the cause of the pain will be initially by a physical injury, external injury.
All right.
And we will start to work on it. But through the journey, we have also to guide the client to accept and that pain and manage it by using the techniques or the routines or the protocols we provide or educate about it. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, if those people left, the physical pain will shift into an emotional pain. First, the pain of the site itself, that they can't move. So they will feel stuck. They are not functioning, especially if they are highly active people, young, or highly achieving people. Okay. Suddenly they have to listen, sit, to avoid the movement of the wound, to let the bone heal, and etc. Okay. Preparing the mind to accept this, that you will have this line, and I'm one of those who describe the journey for my clients. Amazing. It is the emotional pain indirectly. Okay. And actually, they will help you to achieve that emotional healing from their pain. Okay. So, yeah, so some of those physical pains, they've been hidden. Mm-hmm. An example is a man who got injured and he have to go to work. Okay. He cannot explain, or he have many duties. So they push the physical pain.
All right.
And the more they curb it, the nervous system has to change it.
All right.
Change the reflect of the physical pain. So it will show us later as anxiety, worries, deep worries, and even grief or guilt that I don't have time to heal my injury, but I have to go to work to support my family.
Okay.
And the cycle start to grow and grow and grow, and we end up having both emotional and physical pain.
Okay.
And with such cases, when we start, again, we have to go to the root causes of their pain. Because maybe the original one healed, the physical one, but the residue of the emotional is still there.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. Yeah, so exactly as you have
That's if the physical pain started there. But if the emotional starts, that's another journey. Again, the same questionnaire. And that was the only thing that forced me. And actually, it was not a force, it was my choice.
Okay.
It was my choice to go deep in to understand the human brain.
Okay.
So the last 10 years, I was also specialized in neuroscience, clinical hypnosis, to understand how can I help that human or that client to at least manage what's going on. And if they are in an advanced stage, I can help them to be guided to the best psychological therapist or psychiatrist, anyone who is specialized in advanced cases. But luckily, alhamdulillah, most of the cases were much easier to be managed.
Okay.
And the things start to reveal for themselves. So when the emotional started, sometimes it's something simple, but their brain start to accumulate the information. It's just like dripping in one cup.
Okay.
For a while, after a while, the cup will be overflow.
All right.
And they forget the original one. And maybe the original one was not that big, but many picks and pricks and points aggravate and remind them there is something wrong with you.
Okay.
A simple example, a child who cannot swallow something. He didn't like the food. The parents have to force feed. Yeah. They think it's the best mechanism. And day after day, he start to accept the parents. Then the school, you have to eat before going to break. Okay. So he have to indulge.
All right.
Then graduated from the college, and he have a genetic makeup that he is a skinny by nature.
Okay.
He's not sick. And then the comparison between him and his colleagues that why you're so thin. Take the supplement, go and train in the gym. And from a simple emotional thing, he end up with a spine injury because he was forcing the body to practice something. So when he arrived to my session, he came with a spine injury.
Okay.
But what was really interesting to me, because his doctor prescribed him many pills, that he said, one of the reasons that I'm not healed because I cannot swallow the pills that the doctor gave me. And there is no other way. If they crush it, it will be bitter. And I told him, so your issue was with swallowing? And he said, yes. And the story started to be revealed.
All right.
That guy, his session started from the early childhood, the emotional refuse of swallowing.
Okay.
So we work on that. And if in many, like, I think we took around 10 sessions.
Okay.
And he was capable to swallow his medications and finish his therapy, and his spine healed.
That's amazing. Okay, so it is exactly the same way, like we call it a type A and type B emotions. Type A are the more authentic one, and type B the judgmental one. So it's exactly the same way. We layered emotions by the forced positivity. You just have mentioned the parents. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, it is exactly the same. We do not accept or acknowledge the authentic emotion we actually are feeling, and we try to be judgmental to ourselves and forced positivity on ourselves to try and we do not acknowledge the pain. This is one more question as well. Like, if I ask you, what exactly, when we talk about pain, is it emotion or a state?
Both.
Okay.
So there are many different definition for the pain, if it's an emotion or a state, or it's an emotional state by its own.
Okay.
So the International Association for Pain Studies describe it as unpleasant sensory and emotional experience,
Okay.
which includes the chronic pain,
Okay.
and associated also with actual or potential damage.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Defined as an actual or an active emotional trauma right now. No.
Hmm.
So maybe they think that they will get injured or hurt by someone, and the pain will start to aggravate.
Okay.
So it's their perspective of the pain.
Okay.
It's their acceptance of the situation. One of these examples is the bullying. So if someone is known for his narcissist behavior or rude behavior to others, let's say in a classroom or in a work environment, most of the employees will expect that he's gonna hurt me emotional, although the guy will enter and leave without anything, but because he got this pre-printed image in their minds,
Okay.
they will expect the harm before the actual harm. And sometimes there will be no harm. It's just the fear from that harm.
The perception.
Yeah. So, and that will affect the whole day. One of the examples, if they have a very bossy boss who who chase them for every single thing, who punish for simple mistakes, the fear will rule it.
Okay.
And I like the way that it's away from the scientific definition. It's the life truth itself. When I was studying the Japanese Jinshinjutsu therapy, it's a kind of Japanese acupressure therapy. Part of its explanation of emotions, they don't call them emotions. They call them attitudes.
Oh, wow.
So, and when I was keeping asking why, the lady who translated from Japanese to English, she was specialized in English literature.
Okay.
And when she looked at it, that we can choose our emotions based on our genetic experiences, our life experiences, even from early childhood.
Okay.
So you can take any example of 3 individuals in same situation. Let's say that a teacher comes and said, pop quiz.
Okay.
The freaky one. Okay.
Yeah.
One will be excited and happy. Of course, the nerd one, the one who study all the time.
Yeah.
To show his strength. One will be afraid, the one who forget to do the homework. And one will be angry and think that it's unfair because he need to be announced before it. And it's unfair that he's a hard working student, but he will lose the points or the marks because of that pop quiz. Same situation, 3 attitudes. The same with the human body or the human brain. And again, it never shows why this happened. Is it because of our genetics? Is it because of the environment that we came and we grow in? Is it because the survival mode that our bodies took us and to put us in it? But it's just like, it shows like it's by choice. Because if you explain to the angry one that it's a pop quiz, it's not going to reduce your marks, the attitude can be changed.
Yeah, that's true. So as you just have mentioned that it's, an attitude, if we take an emotion as an attitude, okay,
Yeah.
and we identify, if we talk about pain as well, we identify that emotion. So what strategies or tips can be there to, work, self-help tips, the strategies to deal with pain, specifically the emotional pain? Because when it comes to physical pain, you just go to doctor, it is a very obvious thing and we just identify it, okay. But when it comes to the emotional pain, psychological pain, we identify it, but how to work on that? What can be the strategies for that?
So first, to finish first the previous point is that all these attitudes finish in one, the fear.
Okay.
So all these attitudes have a pre-cause. So they are different shapes and pictures of the fear. So as they say, the fear is the mother of all attitudes.
Okay.
And from that, I can guide through the tips to help that pain, whether it's a physical or emotional.
Okay.
If I identify what was wrong, what was the injury, the emotional or the physical injury caused by. So first, the mindfulness, educate them, let them know about their pain, and let them know that it's not the end of the day. Giving them examples about those who overcome that pain and healed. To give them that emotional push. The role models are very, very crucial. The stories of the success pain relievers was one of those strategies we use them as in therapy. When it comes to the self-help, the first thing, I think it's in all therapies, including the medicine. The worst case is when someone came and they cannot breathe. You will ask them to breathe. But rarely they know how to breathe because the fear is ruling the brain. So sometimes we do something called activation, chest activation. So we put our hands on them and we try to guide the breathing with them.
That's true.
And if they are alone, we will help them at least to hug their bodies and start to breathe. That will give them the sensation of touch. Okay. And the body prefer the touch, whether it's from yourself or others, but the touch is a kind of soothing or safety strategy. Okay. If they cannot, and I'm talking about emergencies that people cannot move, so at least if you cannot move anything or touch anything, just hold your hand, close your fists. Just let anybody of any part of your body touch you to calm the nervous system and start to breathe. And we don't tell them breathe from your nose or mouth, anything, just start to breathe and focus on the breath. Then depends again, if it's an emotional, the movement or changing the position of the body. So if they are standing, we will ask them to sit. If they are sitting, we might ask them to lay down. And if they said we cannot, at least lean on something. Okay. Do not just stand there or sit there and start to shiver. If you can't lay down, if you can't change your position, you can't change the position of your eyes. So either close the eyes or change the direction that your eyes looking at. All right. Yeah, and one of the strategies if the person having trouble to breathe, I will ask them to look up and start the breathing. The nervous system will calm down, and it's kind of what we call it vagus activation practice. It activates the vagus nerve to calm down the nervous system. And this is what's about the movement. Then if they cannot reach anything to eat, anything sweet to eat. And here we are talking about normal people, have no issues, no diabetes or any condition to prevent eating anything sweet. Any piece of fruit, any sweet candy, just a little bit of sweetness will help the brain to take the energy and think clearly. So even if it's a horrific incident, the first thing in emergency room, what we give is sugar, glucose, saline. The drips contains a specific amount of glucose or the simplest sugar to activate the brain. The brain needs around 90 grams of sugar daily. Depends on how much activity you use. And those have to be delivered to the brain. So if people eat many things, the brain will take. And you can see it on those who the nature of their work is about thinking and working. They crave more for sweet because they need that fast source of energy. But we're talking here about emergencies. So if they feel that they are anxious, most of the cases who have anxiety or panic attacks, when they reach me and we check the blood sugar, we will find a very low blood sugar. The first question, sometimes I don't even check. I will ask, we need a questionnaire. When was the last time you ate? And you will find that 10 hours, 16 hours. So those long time without food or energy. Water, use it inside or outside. So you can drink water, you can shower. Hot or cold depends. So if you're fuming and you're angry, take cold water.
Okay.
Just opposite your attitude. If you're worried and afraid and you feel that your body is cold, take the hot water.
Okay.
Drink it or shower with it. Light, natural sunlight, and if they can't because it's dark, at least open a light. Not the mobile light, open any light in your house. Get some kind of activation for your eyes. Food and supplement, of course, we will ask, when was the last time you ate? What was in your meal? Because these little things can aggravate the emotions or reduce them. Rest, because again, they have pain, they have emotional distress, and they are in an unresty situation. They're all burned themselves. So train them to get mini rest breaks. Rest does not mean that they have to sleep.
Okay.
Maybe a little walk.
Okay.
Maybe just lean down on their desk and close their eyes. Maybe just put there some headphones to isolate the noise from outside. And be busy, have a goal. Some of those who have, not all of them, but some of those who have many pains, many emotional issues, simply they don't have a clear goal for what's next, especially if they were busy building their families, raising their kids, and suddenly the kids grow up, they have less responsibility. Then the brain starts to play its game. So find a new goal, something you like, or something you learn. And be active in the community, because being busy with your own self sometimes is not enough for people. So go out, find new friends, find new people that you can connect in your mind level.
Okay.
And enjoy the life.
That's true. That's true. The more you work in sense of healthy activities or engaging in healthy people, it gives you more positive vibe and aura and energy as well. So yeah, that's so
exactly.
Okay. So so you just shared such an amazing tips with me. I was looking at it and obviously I was writing it down because some of them were like I didn't knew before. And I tried to I learned a lot from you. I learned a lot from you, and these strategies and the clear explanation of pain helped me a lot, because again the point is, if we cannot identify the pain, we cannot work on it. Once we identify the pain, we will start, working on it. And the strategies you just have shared are just an amazing. I think if a person use any one or two of them, like he or she will be totally to some extent fine on, so either in emotional state or in a physical state, but whatever the pain state it is. Thank you so much, Dr. Hanadie, for sharing it, and thank you so much for giving such an amazing time, and for your cooperation. Thank you so much. It was such an honor to have you.
Thank you so much. And just remember that there are few tips. Notice it. Be mindful that the pain comes from the fear. Knows and learn about your pain, and the fear will disappear, and you will get the balanced body-mind situation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Uzma, if I said, Uzma Azam.
Uzma Azam.
From here, Uzma Azam from Dubai. I'm Dr. Hanadie from the Pain Manager. And I hope that everyone learns something and shares something to help the humanity to be safe, be happy, and enjoy the life. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Salam.